Okay, friends, this video we're going to kind of go over, this is the point when everything we've been learning for a while, so like graphs and tables and unit rates and ratios, oops, I just hit the iPad, everything just kind of comes together. So this notes is going to be kind of lengthy and there's a lot of parts, but we're going to take like 3 days to just work with this. So I just want to introduce the ideas to you, and then we'll really get into it during class time when you're working independently, when you can practice it. Okay, so these notes are going to be called constant of proportionality. There we go. Okay. So by the end, we should be able to find the constant of proportionality from a graph or table. That's an R. Close enough. Okay, so what is that? The constant of proportionality is basically the unit rate between x and y. So how many y's for every one x? Okay, and x and y might have a label sometimes, so the unit rate between, number of hours worked in money, so how much money for every 1 hour worked, okay? And so we can use that constant of proportionality here, and we can start learning how to write an equation based on that unit rate. And so now we can write equations and kind of work with that and do some really cool things with it. So the constant of proportionality is marked as K. So we're going to use that letter K for constant, but it can't equal 0, okay? So cannot be 0. And so if I want to find just K, if I have y equals K times X, okay, I want to know what K is. I don't care about the Y parts. So if I divide by X, that makes these X's go away. And so then if I flip it, you get that K equals Y divided by X. Okay, so I should stop saying K. So this equation is just being rearranged so that you have just the constant. Okay, so how do we find all that? What does that look like? So the following graph and table show the speed of a train. Find the constant of proportionality as speed in miles per minute. So it's basically just unit rate. So the first thing I want to do is make a table using the points from the graph. So the first thing, before all that, you can only find the constant of proportionality if they're proportional. So you need to double check that it's proportional first. Okay, and what we learned a couple days ago is that if on a graph it has 0, 0, then it's proportional. I have that, so now I can continue. Okay, so here's my first point, 1/2, 1/4. So I'm going to put 1/2, because that's the x value up here, over 1/4. Okay, my next point is 1 1/2. Then I have 2 to 1. So let's pick a point. Let's use 1 to 1/2. So my constant of proportionality is k equals y divided by x. My y value is 1/2 divided by my x value is 1. Okay. 1/2 divided by 1 is just 1/2. Because anything divided by 1 is itself. Okay, I'm going to show you another. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Let me show you another one. What if I did the 0.21? So k would be y1 divided by x2. 1 divided by 2 is 1/2. Okay, so you can pick any point, take the y value divided by the x value, and you'll get the constant. So our equation was y equals k times x. So y equals, my k value was 1/2 times x is just 1/2 x. Okay, that's all we're doing for that one. Okay, last question. What does the 0.21 mean? Well, oops, that wasn't an eraser. There we go. So if I look at this point, my x value, there we go, there's my highlighter, is 2, and my x-axis was time. So the 0.21 means 2 minutes. Okay, and then my y value is 1, and my y-axis was distance. So 2 minutes to travel 1 mile. That's all it means. Okay, so what if I just have a table? Well, I can do it this way too. And I'll do a couple examples with finding k. So remember that this equation is k equals y divided by x. So I could let's pick this point. It doesn't make sense to do the 0, 0, because then you just have 0 divided by 0. Okay, it's proportional because it has the 0.00. That means I can do this. So I'm going to take my y value, 1/2, divided by my x value, 5. Okay, so I take 1/2 divided by 5 over 1. You can cross multiply, so I take 1 times 1 over 2 times 5 is 10. So my k value is k equals 10. That is my constant of proportionality. You could also keep switch flip, but we've talked about cross multiplication, so we can do it that way if you want. Okay, so write an equation. My equation was y equals k times x. All I do to write the equation is just plug in my k value, 1/10 x. Okay, and I can use that equation to answer different questions. So how many seconds would it take for the turtle to travel 3/4 of an inch? Well, my inches was my y value, so I can plug that into the equation. So I have 3/4 equals 1/10 x. And x is my number of seconds, so I'm looking for seconds. So in order to find what 1x is, I can divide by 1/10. So over here, I'm going to do it on the side. So 1/10 divided by 1/10 is just 1. So that gives me x equals 3/4 divided by 1/10. Keep, switch, flip. So keep the first fraction, switch to multiplication, flip the second fraction. Okay, then I just multiply top times top. Gives me 30 over bottom times bottom is 4. Then I need to reduce. We can do it as a decimal. 30 divided by 4 is 7.5 seconds. All right. So using just an equation or just unit rate, so maybe this should say equation slash unit rate. Okay. So a store sells 10 pounds of bananas for $5.90. Find the constant of proportionality or the price per banana. So I'm going to take, if I wanted to find the unit rate, let me split this into two. I would just take $5.90 divided by 10, and that would give me 0.59, so 59 cents per pound. Okay, so that means that if my constant of proportionality is y divided by x, that means that 590 is my y value and 10 is my x value. Okay, so writing an equation, y equals k times x, y equals what I found to be the price per pound, 59 cents, x. So there's my equation. So how many pounds of bananas could you buy for $2.67? Okay. Oh, I should have left more room for that. That's okay. So I can plug that in. Over here it even tells me my cost is my y value. Okay, so I put $2.67 equals 0.59x. Just divide by 0.59. Okay, so I type in my calculator, 2.67 divided by 0.59. And this is, we'll round to 4.5 pounds. That's a lot of bananas, friends. Okay. All right, so using that equation to fill in the table, I know that y equals 0.59x. And I have all my x values here listed. So I'm just going to plug those in for x. So y equals 0.59 times 0, which is 0, okay? So if you don't buy bananas, it doesn't cost you any money, is what that means. Okay, y equals 0.59 times 1 pound. That would just be 59 cents. So 0.59. If I bought 5 pounds, y equals 0.59 times 5. That would be $2.95. right? And lastly, how much would 10 pounds cost? Well, it already tells me up here, so I don't even have to do any math. I just have to see, oh, I already know that. Okay? I try to squeeze a lot into this. Okay, so what does the 1/2 30 mean? Or 0.30? So my x value is my number of pounds, so that would be 1/2 pound and my y value is my cost. So 30 cents. That's all that point means. Okay, so now we're going to take some time when we're done, and we're just going to do some practice on our own, okay? And just really get good at finding the constant of proportionality, writing the equation, building tables. Okay, I know it's a lot, but we're going to do lots of practice with it.